first publication of the Bible in English was in 1409 by followers of John Wycliffe, in manuscript form only. William Tyndale, 1494 to 1536, translated from Greek and Hebrew and not Latin. His Greek-English New Testament was released in 1526. His complete Old Testament, including Apocrypha, was published posthumously in the Matthew Bible of 1537. Tyndale himself was arrested in 1535, jailed, strangled, and immolated, not by the Catholics, but for treason under Henry VIII's 1534 succession of the Church of England from papal Catholicism. Cardinal Wolsey, head of the Church of England, condemned Tyndale as a heretic, though under Henry VIII the Matthew-based Great Bible was adopted by the Church of England and chained to each pulpit. Under Bloody Mary Tudor, reformers fled England to Geneva, and under John Calvin published the Geneva Bible, which was the cheap version of the more expensive Bishop's Bible published by Elizabeth I. The Tyndale, Great, Geneva, and Bishop's Bibles, which were the Great plus Geneva, all influenced the King James Version, published by Elizabeth I's successor, James VI of Scotland, also known as James I of England, to appease Puritans. Her Majesty's Secret Service first started under Francis Walsingham, 1532 to 1590. In 1548, Walsingham attends Cambridge and then travels the continent until 1558. Sir William Cecil, advisor to Elizabeth I, appointed Walsingham to unravel the Ridolfi plot in 1570, and in 1570, Sir William Cecil himself was appointed by Elizabeth I as her ambassador to France. In 1573, William Cecil's house in Paris was refuge for Philip Sidney, who later married Frances Walsingham, Francis Walsingham's then teenage daughter, in 1583. In 1576, after replacing Cecil, Walsingham became Principal Secretary of State for Elizabeth I. From 1578 to 1581, Walsingham supported Francis Drake's circumnavigation and worked for a Protestant Scotland. In 1586, he unraveled the Babington plot. The Thomas Philippe's decrypted manuscript implied Mary, Queen of Scots' involvement. And in 1587, he raided Cadiz, Spain, to thwart logistics of the Spanish Armada. His principal agents were Anthony Standen, Giordano Bruno, and Christopher Marlowe. The Shakespeare material was written and first performed. According to the first theory, Shakespeare, from 1564 to 1616, may have actually been Christopher Kit Marlowe, 1564 to 1593, who may have used the pseudonym Shakespeare, or, according to Theory 2, Shakespeare died as early as 1604 and was replaced in 1609 by a group of writers who had studied under Marlowe, including Francis Bacon, 1561 to 1626, and Edward de Vere, Earl of Oxford, 1550 to 1604, as well as his son-in-law William Stanley, the 6th Earl of Derby, 1561 through 1642, who may have written later plays including The Tempest, Henry VIII, and Macbeth. The Julian calendar was reformed into the modern Gregorian calendar. Gregorian reforms designed by Italian Aloysius Lilius, 1510 to 1576, presented by his brother Antonio to Pope Gregory XIII at the Council of Trent in 1563, with German Jesuit geocentrist Christopher Clavius' 800-page Computus calculating the lunar cycle. Pope Gregory XIII issued the bull Inter Gravissimus of February 24, 1582, which stated, "Every year that is exactly divisible by 4 is a leap year, except for years that are exactly divisible by 100. The centurial years that are exactly divisible by 400 are still leap years," i.e. the year 1900 was not a leap year. The years 1600 and 2000 were leap years. In 1582, 8 countries, both Catholic and Protestant, skipped 10 days. 4 Catholic countries complied with conforming their civil calendars: Spain, Portugal, Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and Italy implemented on Thursday, October 4th, skipping to Friday, October 15th. Later, France and Protestant Dutch Holland and Zeeland adopted on Sunday, December 9th, skipping to Monday, December 20th. From 1600 to 1752, the Church of England was officially behind the Gregorian calendar by 1 day, constituting the old and new style of writing dates. Following the Elizabethan era, we have the beginning of Rosicrucianism. The Rosicrucian manifestos were influenced by Heinrich Kunrath, 1560 to 1605. Kunrath published The Alchemical Laboratory in 1595. From 1614 to 1616, first published in Germany, then the rest of Europe, came the Fama and Confessio Fraternitatis of the Rosicrucian order. Johann Valentin André, 1586 to 1654, wrote The Chemical Wedding in 1616 in Strasbourg. Following the wedding of heir presumptives of Hungarian Palatinate and England, immediately prior to the 30 Years' War, when Charles I Louis, son of Frederick V, Winter King of Bohemia, married Princess Elizabeth Stuart of Scotland, daughter of James VI of Scotland, James I of England, successor to Elizabeth I. In the Confessio and Chemical Wedding, the symbolism of the Rosicrucians is the same as the hieroglyphic monad of John Dee.